What's going on, everybody? Got the sound effects fixed? We about to have a time today, y'all. We got the legend. This guy was before Randy Moss, scorching them out their shoes, and if you blink, whoa, where you go? Shout out to Ackee in the house.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hey, I appreciate y'all having me up here, man. I love what y'all doing. It's definitely needed. And like I was telling Mike earlier, like I can't recall, another platform that reached back into the communities to talk to some of the guys who, kind of broke some barriers and kind of made a name for themselves. So I applaud y'all for this platform, and hey, I'm excited, man. Really tell my story and get to it.
Yes, sir.
You got Jay in the house. You got Pill in the house. You got Mike in the house. And I'm gonna say it again. It's something about Southwest. People don't want to admit it, but it's a lot of athletes that come out of Southwest. 60 film, baseline, Chico, all that.
Yeah.
But they're out of there though. We got another one, Andre Ackee, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have some questions, man. You can talk to how you want, and we're gonna start with what part of Southwest is Andre from?
So when I was born, we grew up on Earhart.
Okay.
Yeah, Earhart and Rick.
Yeah.
That house on the corner, man. My mom and pops had it built, and then so I went to Baseline Elementary.
Okay.
For a little bit. Went to Chico for a little bit, and then we ended up moving to Louisiana for a few years. But came back a couple years after, and I want to say back in '92, we ended up moving to Allendale. You know what I'm saying? Neighborhood right across from McClellan.
Okay.
And so that's where I really cut my bones. You know what I'm saying? And got my foot. You know what I'm saying? Off of Suzanne Drive, Suzanne and Chateau.
Yes, sir. He deep in Southwest. Yeah, that's when you in there. Yeah, right down God's Spring. Yes, sir. You off in that thing.
Yes, sir.
So when did Andre get hit with the sports bug?
So we never did. My brother and I, man, Anthony, man, we never did like Pop Warner. Yeah. So we never did any like Pop Warner in the Little League, anything like that. My mom, she worked real hard, and when we did get out, she got us in Taekwondo.
Okay.
So I was with we were with Master Anderson when he was first getting started.
Okay.
And he was teaching classes at the YMCA before he got So
early '90s.
Yeah, early.
For a minute. He's been doing it for a minute. Yeah, he's been on Power 92 all the time.
Yep. So we were part of his like first classes.
Okay.
Then the sports bug, I didn't start playing sports, like organized sports, until Dunbar, until '92.
Monday.
Obviously, we would play, like football, in the neighborhood and stuff like that, basketball in the backyard. But actually, like organized sports, I didn't start until '92.
Okay. So before we get into junior,
how many siblings did you have?
So it was so I grew up with me and my brother Anthony, and then I have a little brother. We have a little brother out in California, Kemet.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we had an older brother, Gary. He was out in California as well. God rest his soul. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So it was four of us. It was four of us total. Then, I take that back. My cousin Chastity, we grew up in the household together, so that's my sister. That's my sister. So cousin by whatever, but sister by right here.
For sure. So before we get into junior high, when did you realize you had the wheels though? When did you start to feel like, yes, I got the wheels, you know what I'm saying?
I would say it was maybe 89.
Okay.
It was before we were living in Louisiana in Shreveport.
Oh wow.
And
I was gonna say, I said he didn't drunk that Louisiana water.
We stayed there for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Not too much so where I picked up on the culture like that, but a couple of years here and there. My pops, he was in the Navy. So he was stationed in Shreveport. So we lived there. I was born in Arkansas. We lived in Shreveport when I was real little. Me and my brother were real little.
Okay.
And then we moved back to Little Rock. And then my mom had to go back around like I was 7, 8, 9 or something like that. And but I remember like racing. We used to have races in the yard and at school and stuff like that. And I just remember I was always keeping up with the older kids. And I knew I was like, well, dang, I'm saying I got a little something, you know. But it really hit me. It really hit me, obviously, when I got to Dunbar, and then I started competitively.
And then we go right into that question. What was it like going to first starting at Dunbar? Like, what was that? Playing coming to Dunbar, because I know you and House, y'all came at the beginning to like the middle of man.
And look, I'm looking for Joe Clark. I'm looking for the chains on the door. You know what I'm saying? Cold red. You know, the whole 9, East Side High. You know,
man, boy.
Well, I'll back it up a little bit because I went to Cloverdale Elementary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before I tore Cloverdale down. Yeah. And I remember where we were at that time. We were still living on Earhart, and my brother Anthony, he was zoned to go to Cloverdale Junior High.
Oh wow!
He was at Cloverdale Junior High, so the whole time I'm thinking that I'm gonna go over there and be a Cub. But something happened. They did the rezoning or whatever, and then by the time I was going to the 7th grade, they ended up sending me to Dunbar. And so when I got there, I see how big it is, and where it was and stuff like that. And I mean, it was cool. It was, it wasn't nothing too intimidating. Obviously, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Especially around that time back in '92, height of the gang violence. But I figured, man, if I just stay to myself, and just keep my head down, do what I got to do, then everything be straight. I never really had any issues with anybody like that. I was all, once I got into sports, that was my lane. And normally, like when you get that athletic lane, everybody kind of, you ain't, dripped up in red or blue or anything like that. So you just focus on school and sports.
Sure.
Yeah. So I really didn't have any issues with that. I do remember being at a basketball game, and then there was a big gang fight, huge gang fight, and my mom was there and stuff like that. And
she was like, "What in the world?"
She was like, "Lord, my baby down here in the hood."
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
You play basketball?
So I did, which, I was telling Mike, like basketball was 100% not my first sport, because, I was always big for my age, muscular for my age. So I think my body started growing fast and my coordination wasn't just the best. Like I'll play defense. I'll give you some good defense, but like running like offensive set plays and stuff like that. I was bow-legged. Look, I shoot with my right, lay up with my left.
Son. I'm gonna have to cut you, son.
Yeah, so basketball. Man, I played though. I wanted to get that Mr. Bobcat, and I knew that you had to do football, basketball, and track all 3 years. So that was my goal. That's why I just persevered through the basketball.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, for real.
So Coach Monday, man, how was it like meeting Coach Monday? You never forget. One of the greatest coaches. People don't talk about him enough, but Coach Monday, man.
Rest in peace, Coach Monday, man. That was my guy, man. He Coach Monday, first of all, seeing a black male teacher, wasn't the norm. So he stood out there, and then seeing a black male young teacher, because he was young at that time, and then he was all swole up, had the waves, you know what I mean, and he looked like us, you know what I mean. Well, back when I had hair anyway, but you know, Coach Money, he just looked relatable. But Coach Money, obviously, you know, he was, you know, he instilled that discipline in you on that field. You know, with also being he had that balance of being in a disciplinary and then being a player's coach at the same time. Right. Because he was young enough to relate to us where we were on our level. And then when we started stepping out of line, he was, you know, of that ilk to where he can, you know what I'm saying, turn it on and be starring with you. And, you know, everybody know that look, you know what I'm saying? He don't give you that look. You know, sometimes he give you that little jab in the chest. You know,
did he tell y'all during the season that y'all can't have no girlfriend during football season? Did he tell y'all that too?
Nah, he didn't tell us that.
He told some dudes that we said y'all they couldn't have no girlfriend during football season.
You know what? I take that back. You just unlock the memory. Yeah, you just unlock the memory. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, he did say that.
So you got a girlfriend, huh? Go ahead and get a push-up position. You call the people.
Yeah. Oh, what you doing? What you doing, little girl? Yeah. And then one thing about Coach Money, man, nicknames. I don't know if he was doing nicknames with y'all, but everybody had a nickname. You know, like I said, I used to do taekwondo, and I remember my 7th grade year, my mom had already paid for classes, so I couldn't go to football practice. I had to finish up these taekwondo classes, and she was going to stop at the end of the month. So I told Coach Money, I said, "Hey, Coach, I can't make it to practice. I got to go to taekwondo class." And then he started calling me karate, you know, and then karate. And that was my name. Like everybody called me karate throughout, you know what I'm saying, throughout my Dunbar experience. You know.
So what was like meeting House, man? When y'all clicked up, man? Was it 7th grade when y'all clicked up when y'all first got there?
I thought House was a teacher.
Andre, if you line up to the left and put your left foot right here, and then you take off, probably like I could see.
House had that same voice when he was 12 years old. As a matter of fact, House is younger than me. House is because he skipped a grade. You know, House was playing with guys way older than he was, but he was way bigger than they were, or the same size at least, and definitely had a voice deeper than theirs. I remember House called my house. Raymond called my house one day, and my aunt picked up the phone and like, "Hello, can I speak to Andre?" And they got worried because they're like, "What is this grown man doing calling Andre this late at night?" You know, I said, "Oh, that's my boy House." He said, I said, "Nah,
no,
man." But no, House. We met 7th grade, and we were best friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my dog. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, life kind of, you know what I'm saying, takes you here and there and stuff like that right now. So we don't see each other as much as we did, but like going up through junior high and high school, man, best friends, in college as well, because we went up to Arkansas together.
Yeah, I tell young dudes that when you build that bond, even though life will take you to a place, but you'll never lose that bond. I know for men it's like that. I don't know about women, but I know for men it's like that for sure. You build that bond, you don't really lose that bond. And then when you see each other in person, it's like you was never apart. That's how
you pick up right where you left off at. Exactly. Yeah.
And
so go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
It makes it crazy because I think I knew him more in junior high before I even got to high school. Because I was always at the junior high games. I wasn't up in elementary back then. But my aunt she was in junior high. I know it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I just want to say that. But nothing more.
And then did you did you play with Joe now? And
Carl?
Joe,
Carl, Joe, they were a year behind me.
A year behind you, okay.
Yeah, a crazy story is Joe, I played in front of Joe. I was a 3. Joe backed me up,
wow.
my 9th grade year. Now, that was only like for half the year. Because I mean, obviously Joe had a better skill set than I did, when it came to basketball. At that time that was my third year, and of course I had the size and athleticism, but I hated basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I only played it just.
You wanted Mr. Dunbar, yeah.
I just wanted to get Mr. Dunbar. I mean, Mr. Bobcat.
Yeah.
And then around like the second half of the year, it just made sense to put Joe in because, like I said, I mean, it's Joe Johnson.
Andre, come here, son. Come here, son. I gotta tell you something.
Karate. Come on, get off that court. Yeah, man. Play more, man.
What was your most memorable game, basketball or football wise, when you played for Dunbar?
My most memorable game. They were really all kind of the same. Well, we lost to PH. You know what I'm saying? That stood out because it was a barn burner.
Yeah.
And I think we, obviously being on the tail end of it, I'm gonna say, man, I think we got cheated a little bit, man, because we ended up having like 14 holding penalties, and they only had like 2. But I mean that was a good game. I mean, hats off to PH, man. They were always. I mean,
they like Sunset. Was PH like Sunset, man?
Yeah.
But they had all that.
Whoa. Now y'all
I Mr. Rod all the time. Mr. Rod all the time. We work them all the haters. I can see Sunset saying that all the time. We work them all the haters.
But as far as like memorable game, I mean, like that does stand out. But really, like all my games, let me see. 7th grade, obviously I played JV. I really didn't play varsity much. And then 8th grade, I started outside linebacker, and I started in the backfield with Elijah Barnum.
Okay.
And then 9th grade is when it really kicked in, and then I started middle linebacker. I was the tailback. I split the backfield with my boy Steve Garrison. Yeah. I was the punt returner. I was the kick returner. I was a punter. So literally every facet of the game, I was on the field, and I was averaging at least two touchdowns a game, whether it be two rushing touchdowns, a rush or interception for a touchdown. Half of my touchdowns actually came from me punting, because my center, my boy Jordan Robinson, it was a 50-50 chance that he was going to get the ball back to me so I can punt it off. Because sometimes he'll hike it and he'll fall short. So I run, pick it up, and next thing you know, the defender's on me. Yeah. And then I'm going to hit that corner. If I hit that corner, it's a wrap. 100%, it's going to be a touchdown.
See your brother, he said, I see you, big son. Shout out to Anthony, man. Yeah, we got to bring you too, Anthony, man. We're going to reach out to you too, man. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you this. What you about to say?
Go ahead. I was going to ask something about track, but yeah.
When was the first time you blew the top off of defense? Was it junior high or was it high school? We can't hold this game.
It was my very first junior high game. It was a JV game. It was sweep left. I remember we played at Cloverdale Elementary on that field.
Wow.
And it was a sweep left, and I got the ball, and I took it 60 some yards. And
karate, go karate.
Yeah. And then I remember doing the lamest touchdown celebration. I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my first touchdown. That was the first time I'm playing organized sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I tried to jump and throw the ball between my legs, and I end up, hitting the ball on my thigh. It was just.
Was you bow legged like we playing football in junior high? Was you bow legged?
You always gonna be bow legged.
Bow legged was fast. Those was fast. He gonna be fast. Those I always say.
But when I did that, when I hit that run, and then again I kind of realized that, I kind of had a step above the competition when it comes to speed. If I knew if I get on the corner, and then you really weren't gonna catch it.
wrap. Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah. So that was the first time I blew the top off of defense, and I knew that I had something. I had something.
Who were some of the memorable?
Is that when you decided to run track as well? I can run so much faster with people not chasing.
Yeah. Well, I knew all along that's what I wanted to do. I knew I had speed, and so and around that time, like so 7th grade, our track dogs was Squeaky, Kevin Wright. So my OGs in track was Kevin Wright and Sean Goins when it comes down to sprint. So that was the standard for me. I knew if I can catch those guys, and then I can compete with anybody else. But obviously they play football as well. So but I knew for a fact I definitely want to run track.
Yeah. Was there anybody you worried about at junior high level as competition in track?
No.
No, not even close.
After my 7th grade year, because again, I'm 7th grade and I'm racing against 9th graders. I remember PH had a guy named Bilal, and he was a dog. And of course, like Squeaky and Sean, they were faster than me at that time, and then a couple other guys or whatever. So I kind of figured I was just gonna stay in my lane on JV, but I ended up running varsity with them a little bit. But when 8th grade came, I didn't lose a race from 8th grade, on throughout 9th grade, and I just knew. And really not trying to, blow my own horn, but the separation that I had from everybody else was just obvious. That.
100%, we're gonna blow a fight.
All right, y'all, excuse me real quick. Hold on. But I know you ran track, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you knew that this was gonna be your sport. What made you like, you know what? This is really what I'm gonna do.
Well, what I really wanted to do is obviously I wanted to make my notoriety in football, and because around that age, around that time, you hear about the NFL and getting the big contracts and retiring your mama and and taking care of your family, and then but not really understanding that the track route was less harmful to your body. And you can get endorsements, and if you did it smart, and then you can still have a lucrative career. So I knew that tracks was a means to the end through football, because I'm gonna get faster with track, it's gonna translate over to football. Yeah. So, but I knew that if I was gonna play, throughout my entire high school, collegiate career, I was gonna do both. I was gonna do football and track.
Yeah. What was it like? Did y'all play side by side, or did House play in front of you, like D tackle? Who's like Aaron Donald, and you back there like Bobby Warner? Y'all like, how was y'all in junior high? Was he playing linebacker too, or was he playing like D tackle?
No, House was playing DN. Yeah.
Oh, you playing DN? What?
Yeah. House was playing. Yeah, House was playing DN, and I was playing middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker. Okay.
Yeah. And then like our 9th grade year. So I'm talking about referring to our 9th grade year.
Yeah.
We had a squad, man. Like House was playing DN, I was playing linebacker. We had our boy Alton Phillips. Yeah. I want to say he played the other DN, and we had some good corners. And Steve Garrison, he played linebacker with us.
Okay.
We had a nice little squad. And then Sid Cobbs, he was on that team as well.
100%.
Sid Cobbs was on that team as well, and he was playing tight end for us, tight end and DN for us. My 9th grade.
Oh, you weren't running back yet, Sid Cobbs?
No, I was a running back.
I was a running back. No, you weren't.
So and I know that
Nah, you good, man. I love it. I love the
and I mean, give him said all the praise, which he was a hell of an athlete, hell of an athlete. But and I know that his name, rings a little further down the line because of what he did, in college and making it to the league. But I mean, around that time, he was coming in and he was still balling. Don't get me wrong, but
I think what made him ring, he looked like Captain America when you see it's like they say, like Ty Forte said, he didn't even really hit the waist like that. He was just like that. He was just
big,
like
man. Yeah, he was just nature. Yeah, it was big. He was kind of like Javon Curse as a running back.
Yeah.
So So and then when you got to, we will talk about college, and I'm sure we'll get to college, but so he was, and then he was a force on the court as well. So he did his thing. Yeah, so it was a dog.
And the last thing before we switch to high school, I know the ladies out there, I miss my wife, but did Tanya play with you or after you? Tanya,
she was after. Yeah,
she was after. Okay.
She was after.
We're gonna get her on here too pretty soon. We got to get the times worked out.
Yeah, definitely get her on. And shout out to her, man. I mean, she definitely paved the way.
She played linebacker. Was she playing linebacker?
I don't know.
She was like
okay.
Yeah, I was going around town, but I want to say, I think she played. Yes, I think it's like free safety or something like that.
Tackle it.
Yeah. But I'm trying not to have a fan moment right now because, like I say, I went to a lot of junior high games before I even made it to junior high. So everything he's saying, I'm like, man, I saw it. I saw a lot of this stuff. But yeah, man.
Nah, I appreciate the love. I mean, I mean, it's all. But I first of all, before we move on out of junior high,
go ahead.
I want to bring notoriety to being at Dunbar. There were a lot of strong Black women at Dunbar. Miss Rogers being one of them. I know you know Miss Rogers. And then Miss Flanagan. She was definitely one of them too. With her being like the first female coach I've ever been around. I mean, I've ever seen.
I used to love her PE classes. Her PE classes was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Her PE classes was awesome.
So I just want to give her flowers. And just gonna put that out.
Yeah, a lot of teachers from I had Mr. Richardson. I don't know if you remember him. I used to mock him. We talking about mocking teachers.
Yeah.
I think he passed me because he's like, man, I ain't dealing with dude next year, man. That dude.
It was so many strong African American teachers and young at Dunbar. Coach
Mr.
Monday,
Burgess,
Mr. Richardson, Mr. Burgess.
Miss Dawn.
Miss Dawn.
Yeah.
Mr. Dean. Hey, boy.
Yeah.
What you
Yeah, Mr. Dean.
I remember he pledged. I was like, man, I was thinking when I was young, I was like, man, but when he, and I was thinking about it, I was like, man, he was older pledge. It was like, that's what's up, man. When he pledged, I think he pledged when I was like in 8th, 9th grade or something like that. But he was older. What's up, man? Yeah, Mr. Dean was cool though. Industrial Tech. Shout out to Dunbar, man. About to say, Phil?
Oh, nothing. I'm a Henderson baby, so I'm just listening.
What's some of the Henderson teachers?
Oh goodness.
I'm with the Cloverdale and Dunbar, so I was like, you and your brother.
So you all over the spot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Which one you like better?
I like Dunbar. It was like family, I had Coach Monday. I knew more people at Dunbar, but I was in the neighborhood with everybody from Cloverdale. So
that's
it was like neighborhood with Cloverdale, and then it was like my OGs and people I knew from elementary and stuff like that. Because I went to Ricedale for elementary, right around the corner from Dunbar. So
wow.
That was like a reunion.
Yeah, that was my first. I went to Ricedale only for 1 year, but yeah, I just knew a bunch of the gang members. That's
gang members
are too deep to change. Everybody know my name. I guess I got charges to
What was that transition like from junior high to McClellan. You're getting out of ninth grade. You know, people don't realize this when high school was only 3 years. You know, and a lot of kids don't even know that now.
Yeah.
You know, it's 10th, 11th, and 12th. I know when I went there, it was a little more laid back. You know, because it wasn't like a ton of students there like when they took ninth grade over. But yeah, how was that like for you, bro?
Well, the biggest thing for me was I wanted to see how my speed translated over to high school. I knew that I was a dog in junior high, and that I can impose my will there. But I mean, I'm thinking, and now like I'm hearing about the 40-yard dash. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so and so run the 4.5, and back then the 4.5 was godlike. Our part. So. And I've never been clocked in the 40 at that time.
Yeah.
So coming over to high school, my brother, my sophomore year, like I said, was my brother, his senior year. And so I knew some of the guys, and so I'm trying to like, hey man, who's the fastest on the team?
Yeah.
And at that time it was my boy Courtney Phillips.
Okay.
Courtney, he had some smoke.
Yeah.
So I remember getting up there, and then everybody, people heard about, hey man, this kid from Dunbar's coming, karate from Dunbar's coming, he's supposed to be fast. Yeah. And so everybody wanted to see how me and Courtney fared up.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first got up there, Courtney and I, we raced in the 40, and he got out on me. You know what I'm saying? He won that race. And I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Just give me a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, give me a little bit. Yeah, just trying to feel you out. I know what to do next.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like once I get my track legs under me, then
I think you probably was more nervous. And once you kind of seen where it was at, you were like, okay, I know what to do next. You know what I'm saying? When you somebody,
when we raced that race, I mean, like I said, again, not taking, Courtney's fast. You know what I'm saying? Like he was fast, but I just. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was a little intimidated or something like that. Because I noticed that I didn't feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you're not relaxing, you thinking like, how this race gonna go? Well, how much do I need to pull? Do I need to pull it? And then, but when you say, okay, I know what I need to do next time, I don't even got to think. I think.
Yeah. But I gave him that. I let him have it. I said, we'll get back to it. I got to focus on football. So obviously, competing for football. They stuck me in at fullback because I said we had Rock Grammer playing tailback, and I wasn't even mad about it. You know what I'm saying? I was just cool to really be playing with my brother Anthony.
Yeah.
And it was cool for my mom too because it was the first time she can see her two boys on the field at the same time.
Yes, sir.
So I remember, I wasn't getting the ball a lot, because they were trying to feature Rock. And I remember our first game, we ended up playing West Helena, and they had some big linebacker. I think his name was Burks. And I remember, a big country boy, you know what I'm saying, Burks. And I remember, I put a hit on him, and I kind of rocked him, and I scored my first touchdown that game. So I felt that I could play, so that I could compete in the, in that league in high school. And then after we had when we made it to the playoffs that year, but it was nothing really special, but then my junior year came about, and I was the feature back at that time.
Yeah, and so was that the start of Coach Gunn era, like your junior year?
No.
No,
we still had Coach Shirley.
Coach Shirley. Okay.
Well, let me go back. So 10th grade, I end up starting at tailback midway through the season.
Okay.
So I did progress to starting at tailback. So I finished up like that. But 11th grade was a really good season for me stat wise. Yeah. But 12th grade, yes, that was the introduction to Coach Gunn. Yeah.
What did you tell when you first heard his voice? I tell white this all the time. Most coaches, you want them to have their commanding voice.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool, we got a black coach. You know what I mean? We got a black head coach. So, And the funny thing about it is my mother, she was on the board that the hiring board, because she was the president of PTA or something like that.
Yeah.
And she was on the hiring board, so she had a hand in him.
He can sell it. He can sell it.
Yeah. So, but me, Coach Gunn and I, man, you know, hey, shouts out to Coach Gunn, but we really didn't have the best of relationships.
You're not the only one.
And I don't know why. You know, he changed the offense up, which was cool, but we went from the power eye to the veer, and we had receivers and 3-point stance. You know, so you know, but me, I'm like, hey, you're the head coach or whatever. But
it's like having Bugatti in the garage, man. Just like put in the garage.
Right. And if it wasn't for Coach Chambers, you know, I would have been, you know, I don't know, that would have been a horrible, I don't know. It was a horrible season anyway, because we went 2-8. But you know, Coach Chambers, he, you know, like I said, him being there, he really kind of got me through, you know, mentally, you know what I'm saying, through that. And there was a lot of pressure on me because that was my senior year. I'm looking at scholarships, you know, college offers and stuff like that. And
got you out there running review, man.
But was McClellan your first option, or just like that's just?
Oh yeah, I knew I was going to McClellan. Yeah, I mean,
big bro went there.
There's no way I was going to pass up playing with bro.
You know,
he lived right down the street, and then he lived right down the street. Mama can come to the
some
game.
brothers had that friendly competition, but you know.
Yeah, nah. I'm playing with my bro. Like, you know, we share bath water, so of course we're out there.
Old school, yeah.
But
underwear, so yeah, we're gonna share.
But after you graduated, I'm just saying, you know what?
But Central did try to get me to come over there.
I bet.
Yeah, they tried to get me to come over there.
The king of the food.
And that's when I heard your name the most. I was at that game. I was like, Andre, on the carry, because they was mispronouncing your name the whole time.
I've been called everything: Akers, King, you know, Ackland. I was like, man, what the hell that? You know what I mean?
What were your numbers like as a senior? Like 40 times, 100s, 200s, GPA? What did you look like?
2.8 GPA, 100 time 10.32, 200 time 21.1, 40 time 4.42. I don't know, maybe, you know, bench, you know, maybe 250, 260, something like that. You know,
he still got them guns. Don't get it twisted. He still got them guns, man.
And you were like 190, you said?
Yeah, I came out at 195.
Man.
Yeah, I came out at 195. Yeah.
And then you say your family origins is, you say your pops is from the
Trinidad Tobago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right off the
coast. That's why I had the good food, man. That's why I had the good food, man.
Yeah, so I come from a track family on that side. You know,
yeah. Did your older family, they still had the accent, or they kind of?
You know, sometimes my dad be talking, I be like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? Eat your vegetables, son. Mom, what? Vegetables?
You can't be doing no things. You can't be doing
Hey.
What was
what did your dad do in track?
What was that?
What did your dad do in track?
My pops, man, he was I think he did the 300-meter hurdles. I want to say he ran a quarter. Yeah, he was a quarter horse. He did a lot of stuff. He did a lot. I don't think he wasn't 200 and down. So I think more like a hurdler, I believe, and a quarter horse. My uncle though from Trinidad, he was the 100-meter guy. You know, so I took after him when it comes to that 100, 200.
Yes, sir.
You know, and then my auntie, my dad's sister, she was a sprinter as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go. So, big bro, how was the sibling rivalry, man, when y'all growing up with your brother, man? I know.
Funny thing you asked, man. We were kind of in different lanes.
Yeah.
When it came to athletics, because he was he's a little shorter than me, but you know, he built like a Buick. You know, even now, I mean, the man is massive right now. But his senior year, he won the state weightlifting championship.
Oh,
And then I won the sprint championship. So
Yeah.
His senior year, my sophomore year, my mom had the fastest and the strongest athlete.
Yeah.
In the state of Arkansas.
It was crazy. Y'all ate the same food, grew up in the same house, and he's massive. And you were sprinting.
I mean, I had a little yoke on me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
no, yeah, 4% body fat though. Your brother did.
Right.
He was Mr.
Yeah,
Olympia.
he was more of a gym rat, you know.
Yeah.
Than I was, you know, so he really worked on, you know, so his strength and stuff like that, which mine just kind of came as it is.
So for the youth listening, how were you and Aunt? How were y'all able to stay out of trouble in the trenches? Because we all know in Southwest, if you ain't careful, boy, it's out there, man. So how are y'all able
in
to,
the 90s too.
boy, how are y'all able to avoid that? I know your parents probably didn't play, being from Trinidad too. I know they didn't play either.
So we kind of had the best of both worlds, right? So my father is extremely Afrocentric, you know what I'm saying? So he taught us, you know what I'm saying, more philosophy, more about where we come from, our roots, and had us to really do a self-reflection on situations that we come across. And then my mother she instilled, you know what I'm saying, the word of God into us. You know, so she got us, you know, got us through church, and you know, we were, you know, going in. So we had it on both ends of the spectrum.
Right.
So whenever we came across a decision, now I ain't gonna say we did everything right. We did.
I understand that.
A lot of stuff that we just didn't, you know.
Y'all didn't get into the catastrophic stuff. Some of these young guys get into now.
We were able to, when we came to a situation, we were able to process it, and you know what I'm saying, and choose the best option, you know, whether to engage or walk away. And then on top of that, like a lot of times we weren't really scared about going to jail. We were scared about getting out because my mom, my auntie didn't play. You know, so but my mom, you know, she was, you know, strong woman. You know, she knew the trials and tribulations that we were up against as far as like the gang culture and things of that nature. And she was like, "I'll kill you before they kill you."
Right.
You know, so
old school, dude. Some of them old school women, they don't know. Old school women, boy, different.
She didn't let us, you know, some things we just had to miss out on.
Yeah, for sure.
She was being cautious, you know. So that's how we kind of navigated that.
Jelly young bulls and real old school women. You ain't seen you see an old school woman that can wring a chicken neck and chop the head off. That's real old school, you know what I'm saying? They don't make them like that no more.
Yeah, she ruined my neck a couple times, man. I remember I came in the house about 3 o'clock in the morning one time.
Shout out to Bumbo King.
Hey, look. My mom put them paws on me.
I know Deb got them paws too. Deb would call it our legend too.
That wasn't playing.
I know you were way bigger. I was like, damn, mama hurt me. She hurt me. I gotta take these licks.
Mama got a way to hurt. You got a way to reach you. Look how big you is. She gonna reach you.
She'll tell you where you get your strength and your speed from.
I'll tell you. Well, look, my mom, she kept protection under the bed because, you know, she was like, look, if these boys go crazy, I'm gonna get crazier.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I don't.
She'll take you out.
What's that?
She brought you in this world. She'll take you out.
She almost took me out one time, but that's a story for another time.
But
no, man, my mom, she's a great woman, man. She's
for sure.
Yeah, great woman, man. Extremely professional. Huge child of God. You know, along with my aunt, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they were the women we were raised by strong women, strong black women. So, Yeah, I mean, they really kept us around.
Male figures. I know you grew up with your pops. Like, how important do you think that is that you had to grow up with it, and how people really need to value that stuff even more today?
Yeah. Well, my pops, like my entire life, me and Anthony's entire life, he lived in California because my mom and my dad, they separated when we were young. You know, I always make jokes that, hey, God just put them together just to have us, you know, and then, they went to separate. But, you know what I'm saying? But, lives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with him being in California, he was always active. Like he would come down, visit us, come down, pick us up, take us to California on the phone. So if we ever had any issues or or any questions, we can call. But it just wasn't that male figure in the house. You know what I'm saying? That Johnny on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I just got into this fight, or I got this situation going on with this girl, or you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling this type of way. You know what I'm saying? But we did have we did have male figures in our life. My stepdad, Benny, he was there, as well. And, he taught us a lot of things, and he kept us, grounded in certain aspects. And my grandfather was around a little. He kind of passed away when I was in the 8th grade. But he was a strong male figure in my life. And then around the neighborhood, a lot of people always talk about like the Black community, being a single parent household. Well, when we were on Earhart, every household, really with the exception of ours that I can recall, there was a male. There was the dad and the mom was in the household.
You got a big house. You got Raymond House, Pops, big house.
Yeah, and then, right, and then Mr. House, he was always around. Mr. Phillips, my boy Alton Phillips, Alan Phillips, and they just had a loss. They just had a loss in their family, so y'all keep them in y'all's prayers.
Yes, sir.
So
a lot of people don't give Coach Chambers his flowers. We're gonna do that when he get on here. But he was a father to a lot of athletes.
AC Chambers.
Favorite words. Hey, Andre, you puck on it.
Yeah, man. So, but just having those, we definitely have a lot of positive role models in the community. Of course, talking about Coach Mundy, Coach Claiborne, things of that nature. So they kept us in line. I mean, they couldn't save everybody, but thank God we saved.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Phil. We about to say.
And I'm just now learning like how I've heard about it, but I'm just now learning about it, like how deep Dunbar roots really are. Really is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just now learning about it. Like you hear certain things, but I'm like, damn, man, they a little bit close knit than what people think.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. We were tight. We were tight. It was a family affair. I know when, my mom would go to the games, to the track meets. She up there with Miss Rogers, Miss Flanagan, she up there with the other parents, and it was like a family. And, if and my mama had spies at the school.
Oh,
I had school mamas. Miss Flanagan was my school mama.
Yep.
She had total reign to keep me in check. And so did Miss Rogers. So it definitely molded us into the individuals who we are right now, and so I'm forever grateful for that.
All right, so now we talking about getting out of Southwest.
Yeah.
Now the transition, I think a lot of kids, we hear about this a lot too. That transition from Southwest to Fayetteville, from high school to college, man. How was that like that first time on campus? Mama not there, brother. It's just Andre.
Hey, Drake, and don't skip over the recruiting and all that. What led to the?
Yeah,
I know House probably. You probably kept me grounded a little bit up there with House. Did y'all roommate? Y'all didn't roommate together, did you?
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my brother. Yeah. So going through the recruiting process, I had some decent offers.
for sure.
Tennessee wanted me to come over there and corner.
In that
Because they had Jamal Lewis at the time, so they were like the cornerback position. They wanted me to play corner.
Yeah.
Rice recruited me pretty heavy. Baylor was pretty heavy on me.
Nice.
Ole Miss was actually my very first offer. But like I told you, my dad gave me self-awareness, and I wasn't about to go play for a school that had the rebel flag on their hip.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, yeah.
No knock to Ole Miss, but that just wasn't my lane.
Right.
So, and then, I just wanted to, Arkansas, obviously they came in hot and heavy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it easy for my mom, to be able to come see me play. And I committed under Danny Ford. I didn't commit under Coach Nutt.
Okay. I was about to ask you, was Nutt there? Was he? You weren't even there? Okay.
Yeah, I committed under Danny Ford. And I remember it was me and Scott Summers. Both of us, we committed under Danny Ford. But he got fired after that second 4-7 season.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had the option to recommit or whatever and evaluate our options. But when they brought in Coach Nutt, I wasn't very familiar with him, but I knew he was from Little Rock. And then just that energy that he had,
Oh my God,
that passion, the man make you want to run through a brick wall,
Razorback, baby.
Hey, he used to say, he said, there's a lot of lions, there's a lot of tigers, there's a lot of bears, but there's only one Razorback. You know what? You're right. What I'm saying? Like, you don't think about it, but you know what?
Yeah.
Get on the Razorback. So we stuck with that commitment. And when I left, I remember my mom bought me a brand new Isuzu Hombre pickup truck.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like S10, cousin of the S10.
Like Class Act, like the truck you kind of had on Class Act, I think.
Yeah, right.
The mini truck, yeah.
So, I packed that thing up, and I remember it was my mom, Benny, my stepdad, Benny, and then myself, and we drove up to take my stuff up to Fayetteville. And when we got there, we do all the things. Mama gonna go down to Walmart and get all the cleaning supplies and all the bed sheets and all the things you need.
Yeah.
And then they were about to leave, and they were like, "Okay, all right, we about to leave." And then I'm like, "All right," so we hug and then they walk off, and I'm looking like, "Dang, Mama didn't even cry." You know what I'm saying? I said, "Dang, Mama didn't cry."
Like, just leave her, baby. Okay.
I'm like, and come to find out, she was balling the entire ride back home.
Yeah. I can see that.
Like I said, she was a strong. She's a strong woman. And she didn't want to see me. But the transition, the transition wasn't bad. It was just really understanding what right looks like. You know what I mean? And making sure that, you get your schedule down, and you got to be responsible because nobody is going to tell you to be or do, so you just had to kind of grow up kind of fast.
Was that your first time visiting, or you already went up there before you committed?
Nah, we had a camp, I want to say my 11th grade summer, like a skills camp. And I was blessed. I did extremely well at the camp. And I remember there was an article in the paper the next day. It was a big write-up, on the front page of the paper. And I remember the picture had Fred Leonard. I don't know if you guys remember Fred Leonard. He played quarterback for Parkview.
Oh, we definitely don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Definitely don't know who that is.
Yeah, so
I love Parkview, but we don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't like Parkview. They told my school now. They still fighting for Parkview. I'm like, tear it down. I don't care. They told me.
Yeah, we so to answer your question, no, that wasn't the first time I went up there.
Okay.
And then obviously I went up there for my official visit,
Mm-hmm.
and that was interesting.
So was that camp at Arkansas one of your biggest high school memories? Playing football?
Actually, the camp and so that camp, and then we ended up going to Nebraska.
Oh, nice. Wow,
Yeah,
that's a different coach.
Yeah, and we end up we almost lost eligibility behind that.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was me, Thomas Green, Renell Lissy, who else was it? Brian Jones, Patrick Cooley. I can't remember who else, but our coach took us down there, and we participated in some skills camp down in Nebraska. Immaculate weight room at the time.
I bet.
And then once we got back, I remember El Dorado, their coach, Coach Register, who was Arkansas, who was McClellan's coach when they played in the championship game. He ended up going to El Dorado. He reported us because we practiced outside the certain window. Trying to get our eligibility taken from us,
right?
And we ended up having to sit out some our red and white game, red and blue game, or something like that.
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
So, how did the workouts change from high school to college? I know I know that was crazy going to Arkansas. I know they probably just I know I tell my wife, McClellan Field ain't no shade. It's just sun in the field and real grass, you know what I'm saying? But I know you go to college, weights, training, time schedules, all that. Then you got to go to class like Big House was saying.
Yeah, it was a tight schedule. It was an extremely tight schedule, especially during tour days. We had curfew, couldn't have anybody in your room or anything like that. But the intensity of the workouts, I mean, whatever we did in high school, multiply that times 10.
Yeah.
And multiply that times 10. And then you just have to keep up. Because at that point, obviously in high school, if you're it's easy to see who's better in high school.
Right.
But in college, like
everybody was a man.
Oh yeah, everybody was a man. Everybody was a man.
Yeah.
So you just have to strap them up tight.
Yeah. How many people there was from the city when you was there? You and Hal was because he came a little bit after y'all was there, didn't he?
Sid was a year behind us.
Year behind y'all, okay.
Yeah, Sid was a year behind us. And let me see, Sid, and then Faquan came. And then we had a couple guys walk on and stuff like that. It wasn't
too many, just a handful.
Yeah, and I may be misremembering a little bit too. It's a while back.
Sure.
But it wasn't a whole lot of us.
Okay. And did you run track? Did that let you run track too?
So yes, I ran track. I ran indoor like my sophomore year, but that was me coming off of an ACL surgery. So right. So
you didn't go into the injury.
Was that? Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So I get to Arkansas, and we have freshman camp. We're doing good, and then that's when I clocked 4.32 in the 40. I clocked the 40.
Pad. That's a scat pad for you. That's a scat pad.
Yeah. I had a 4.32, and then that kind of caught their attention.
Yeah.
Because they were looking to see who was going to redshirt, and obviously, as a freshman, you I want to play as a freshman. I want to play true freshman, which is not always the best thing to do, but that was the goal. And I remember having a decent camp, and Danny Nutt was the running back coach, Houston Nutt's brother.
Yeah.
And I remember we were we had a 2-play rotation between the freshmen. So I ran, I came out, another freshman run, he came out. And then I went back, did my next 2 rotations. And then Coach Nutt was like, he said, hey, Ackee, man, get you another one, man. You know, you running good, get you another one. And then when I ran that other one, and then I remember a linebacker hit me head on the knee, and then like a D lineman or something like hit me on the back and hyperextended my knee.
Yeah.
So I know I'm like, oh, this feels funny, you know. And I went to the trainer, and luckily that was the end of practice.
Yeah.
And I went to the trainer. I was like, hey, my knee feels weird. So we ice it up. I go back to my room, whatever. I'm limping, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a little twist of the knee. And that next morning, I stood up and I fell down on the ground.
Yeah. Wow.
I found out I partially tore my ACL. Had to have that surgery. And back then, the science wasn't as good as it is now.
Yeah, the recovery. I was about to say, I know the recovery probably was tough, man.
Oh my God.
You're doing all kind of crazy stuff.
It was bad. And then, so I recover, you know, so my freshman year is a wash. They red shirt me.
Yeah.
I come back the second year and you're still trying to, you know what I'm saying, get in the groove. Yeah. And then Sid comes up there. And now, you know, they're trying to push Sid as a feature back. You know, so he's doing this thing. And then the next year, I'm healthy, you know. 217 pounds. I just hit my PR on the bench, 410 pounds. You know, I'm working out on the squats with 405, working out. 405, and this is like shortly after a knee surgery.
Yeah, I mean he ripped up. That's pretty much short. He ripped up, guys. That's what he pretty much saying.
You know, and then I'm doing lunges because we had this thing where we put the bar on our back and we lunged down the weight room, and I got 315 on my back, lunging 315 going down the back. So I had a really good camp that summer, and we had our red and white game. And I remember we had the fan appreciation day. Everybody's coming through. Andre, we've been waiting to see you play. You know, we know you need, you know, all these surgeries and stuff. So, you know, so we get to the game, and again, Danny Nuts, you know, Coach Nuts like, hey, Andre, man, you had a good camp, man. We want you to start it off. You know, and I'm like, hey, say less. So I go out there, and I remember it was a 20 draw. Yeah. You know, quarterback get the ball, he take his little drop, I fake it, he turn around, I get the ball, I'm about to hit the, you know what I'm saying, the gap, and then I bounce it to the left, and then I run up, the strong safety comes up, and then I make a hard cut to the left, and when I make the hard cut, my other knee just it just popped. You know, I ran 13 yards untouched. The knee just popped off of that cut. And I remember running out of bounds, and then I ran back to the huddle, and I knew my knee was gone. So I ran off the field. Coach Nuts looking at me like, Ackee, what are you doing? I said, Coach, my knee. You know, and he kind of throws his hands up, you know, like he's frustrated. So I ran to Dean Weber, our head trainer. Dean, my knee. He said, is it the one? I said, no, it's the other one. And then he took me back to the training room. Yeah. And Dr. Mitchell, he does they tug on your leg.
That joker moving around freely. Yep.
He told me straight up, he was like, hey, Andre, I don't know until we really get a MRI, but I think your ACL's popped. That was it.
You popped all of them on both sides.
Well, both of them, yeah. I popped both of them.
Look, and listen, for people to understand, when you bow-legged, it's already hard enough. Yeah. And you bow-legged, man, that's gonna do something to you.
Yeah. So, you know, I go back to, I want to talk Coach Mundy. You know, he taught us a lot of a lot of lessons. Right. One lesson that he taught me, I remember in the 9th grade, I had a really good game with somebody. We played somebody at Southwest or somebody, and I had a really good game. And I remember he was an English teacher. I walked in his classroom, and I'm just bragging.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just being, Coach, you see what I did last night with the all this kind of stuff. And he looked at me with that look, with that Coach Monday stare, and he said, Karate, look at that poster on the board, on the back of the room. And I looked, and it was a poster about humility and humbleness, and he taught me to be humble in my success, because you don't know when you're not going to be successful anymore.
Right.
So throughout my career, throughout my high school career, whenever I was burning people on the track, whenever I was running people over on the field, whenever I was dominating, I kept that humbleness, because Coach planted that seed in me.
Right.
And not knowing that my career was going to end the way that it did, and then I was going to, I was going to need that humility, So, I mean, it came back around. I'm grateful for that.
So before we, were you about to say something, Bill?
No, I'm listening, man.
Before we get off of college, I wanted people to realize like the kids that's coming out of high school that want to go to the SEC. Talk about the size difference and like overall the size and speed difference. Everybody come like different schools when you playing like Tennessee. They got these corn-fed linebackers, 6'7" DNs. Like, in your city, it may not be no people that big, but you got people all over the SEC. Like go to Georgia, got this 6'8" DN, 240 moving crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, if you think you're ready and you ain't ready. I'll put it to you like this: when I got up to Arkansas, my boy Carlos Hall. I don't know if y'all remember that name.
That name's so familiar.
Yeah. So y'all remember Javon Curse, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So he was like a baby Javon Curse. He was Javon Curse on a collegiate level.
Right.
And Big Los. I might get to know. Los is probably about 6'3", 6'4", maybe 265 pounds at the time, something like that. Maybe 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe like 5% body fat, was running a 4.4.
Man.
Had a 40-inch bench pressing almost 500 pounds.
Good.
Yeah, we had receivers benching. I want to say my boy Mike Williams. I want to say he was benching about 420 pounds, and he was maybe 165 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Was you there with Pac-Man? Was Pac-Man there with y'all? Amon Carroll? Was you there with y'all?
Yeah, Batman. Yeah, Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, he came.
So,
however strong, like how the strength and the speed, and just the not just that, just the competition level.
Yes.
Just how hard they compete. In the SEC is like you're not going to see it anywhere else. Maybe from like these Texas high schools, because let's be real, like, Texas is just a little different. You know what I mean?
Boy, yeah.
Man, that's what I've been. I was asking people that stay down there in Texas.
Yeah.
I was asking them about it. Like, I saw it just from an elementary type of level. I was like, if that's what they doing in elementary, I can only imagine junior high and high school.
Yeah. They're on a different level, because we here in San Antonio. Yeah, we down here in San Antonio. We moved down here, a few years ago, and I mean, but we've been in Texas for a long time. Even before I joined the Army, we were living in Texas, and they take football down here just on a whole nother level, and just the competition is crazy.
Yeah.
You see some of the stadiums, and you like,
man,
some of the stadiums worth more than some of the schools down in Arkansas.
Bro,
I bet 100%.
And bro, and they put it on TV every week.
Yeah.
Every week, like, man, you can watch a high school game on TV.
Yeah. So, good through that injury, you get recovered. Let's talk about how did you get to that transition from college to the military?
Mm.
You make that choice.
So after college, now I got to figure out who is Andre Ackee without
Boy,
sports.
100%. Yeah. No, that was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and being on the level that I was blessed to get to, and now
Yeah.
it's kind of like, hey, this ain't you no more.
Yeah.
So I worked with at risk adolescents, in Little Rock for a number of years. I did that, and then I started working on, and then I moved to Dallas, started working on airplanes, electrician. And then when I was 31 years old, I decided to join the Army because my older brother Anthony, he went to the Army,
Okay.
and then my younger brother Kemet, he ended up moving from California to Dallas and stayed with me and my family for a little bit, and then he ended up joining the Army. And I was working with a lot of vets.
Yeah.
And then I was, and both of them went in. When both of them went in, I was like, man, y'all not gonna leave me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can do it. I can do it.
Exactly.
This our
Exactly.
chance right here. This our chance right here.
Yeah. I didn't want them to have their little Army lingo, and I'm left out in the cold. I don't know what y'all
Out the loop. 100%.
Yeah. So it was cool, man. Like with me and both my brothers in the Army, obviously Ackee is a very uncommon last name.
For sure.
So we were the only Ackees in the Army. You know what I mean? Right. So I was the tribute.
Yeah, I thought y'all was Muslim at first.
Nah, man, I eat the swine, baby.
I probably I was like, man,
oh man, that was funny.
So yeah, when you're the only Ackees in the military, your name carries weight. That's his brother. They related. So,
yeah, you're right. And it's funny because like everywhere we went, people would connect us together. Even when I was in Afghanistan, I got deployed to Afghanistan, and and we were on a mission, and we had to escort. We were escorting some people from this place to that place, whatever.
Yeah.
And one of a lieutenant colonel, he walked up to my lieutenant, and he was like, "Is that Ackee? Is that Sergeant Ackee?" I was a specialist.
And y'all in Afghanistan in the middle of nowhere.
in the war zone. You know what I mean? We got all types of stuff going on. So the lieutenant colonel talking to my lieutenant, he is that guy Ackee? And my lieutenant like, yeah, that's Ackee. And then he was like, well, tell me about him. He said, oh, well, he's a good soldier. He's a team leader and all this kind of stuff. And he said, well, did he get in trouble? And he was like, no, Ackee doesn't get in trouble. Now, at the time, my brother Anthony, he was a sergeant first class, which is an E7.
Yeah.
And I was a specialist, which is an E4.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, the lieutenant colonel served my brother, somewhere back in the day.
Yeah.
And when he saw me in Afghanistan, because my brother and I, we look so much alike.
Right. Yeah.
He thought I was my brother, but I dropped weight. Dropped rank. He thought I dropped rank. So
size difference dramatic. Your brother dropped that much.
Feel like, man, he must have messed up big time. You know what I'm saying? E4. So, but yeah, man. Everybody it's me, my brother, both my brothers. We have stories of people approaching each one of us in reference to each one of us.
I got a question about
worldwide.
Go ahead, Jay. What do you think, like knowing what you know now, being in the military, what kind of personality that, like, growing up in Southwest, do you think, like, if you saw a kid with this personality trait, that would be good, like, just you should go to the military first, and then if you want to do school after that or some kind of education? Because I think growing up in Southwest, there are certain personalities, like, if you went, the military fit your profile. but a lot of kids don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what do you think the good profile?
I'm a huge advocate for young adults to go into the military. You know, and I say that because I see the benefits that the military can, you know what I'm saying, can offer to you. Now, if you have a plan, like some kids, they just super focused and they have their plans, you know what I'm saying, by all means do that.
For sure.
But anybody is not necessarily a personality because there's so many different avenues that you can take in the military. Whatever job that's on the outside in the civilian sector,
yes, sir.
It's in the military. You know what I mean?
Sir. Yes,
So
sir.
once you get in, you know that's an automatic paycheck.
Yep.
You know, so and this is for like, and this is that's an automatic paycheck. It's an automatic job, automatic housing, pseudo transportation, automatic healthcare, and you're gonna learn a skill.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and on top of that, if you do it right, you can get your compensation if you get sick, get injured, and all that kind of stuff, and you can get a check for the rest of your life.
Wow.
And then the benefits, you know, you can get your school paid for. They'll pay you to go to school. You know, I mean, it just is so many benefits, you know, to the military, but it has a negative connotation to especially our community. You know, like, no black man, ain't no spot, no black man should be fighting for the white man, all kind of stuff. Stop. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't believe that because, you know, there's always going to be, whether you in the military or working at IBM or working at Amazon or something like that, you know, it's going to be BS anyway. You know?
Right. For 100%. There's no perfect job. I haven't heard it yet.
And it's crazy that you say that because I was just talking to my nephew yesterday about this.
Yeah.
It's like, man, the things I know now, yeah, I probably would have went already. Like, no questions asked. Like, man, you're young. You got your whole life ahead of you.
Yeah.
What you think that you're going through right now? By the time 20, 15 years later, the same people that's gonna be out there on them corners and streets, and like they gonna be right there when you get back.
They don't
And
do
you'll be retired in 20 years.
Exactly. And that was my thing. My thing was I'm gonna have to work for the next 20 years anyway. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not in the military, if I do 20 in the military, that's an automatic retirement check. And you know, if I have any health issues, that's an automatic VA check.
Right.
You know, so unfortunately, you know, again, my knee blew out. You know, my knee took me out the military. But I was able to. I'm able to get my compensation every month.
Yeah.
You know, and that's been a blessing to me and my family. And on top of the other benefits that come with that, and then joining the military from Texas, they love vets down here. You know, I ain't saying Texas is perfect,
right?
But
For sure.
I love the vets down here. You know,
I love it down there.
I think when you come back, I think that'd be cool, man. To really talk about like kids that don't know about the military track. I think that actually be a cool episode.
I would 100%. Next time I come back home, we'll link up. You know,
when you say your dad taught you self-awareness, right? And I really want the kids to understand is like you got self-awareness, you go to the military, but then when you actually go travel the world like he wanted you to do, when you went to Afghanistan, how did that expand your self-awareness? So like you know what? Wow, the world is bigger than, you know, being in the US, you know what I'm saying?
And look, that was so before Afghanistan, I've already kind of traveled the world a little bit. You know,
okay.
I was stationed in Germany. That was my first duty station. I've been to Trinidad. I've been to Mexico.
Okay.
You know, but none of that compares to Afghanistan. You know, Afghanistan will give you a whole different, perception of life in general. You know, like the worst hood, the worst ghetto, the worst situation here in America you know, doesn't compare to the best situation in Afghanistan.
Right.
You know, I was in the capital in Kabul. Y'all remember a few years ago when we did the withdrawal from Afghanistan? You know,
Yeah.
I was there. That was my AO.
Okay.
That was where we did our missions.
Okay.
And that's the capital of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole city, it's only one stoplight. Throughout the whole city, you know.
Wow.
Hey, Andre, hey, keep it brief. Keep it brief, because some people really don't understand this type of level of when people come back from certain type of situation, they get put to the wayside,
Mhm.
and people are not gonna be like, hey man, thank you for serving our country, but oh, here's $19 an hour job type stuff.
Right.
But I leave that stuff alone. But like I said, man, I always push that if you really want to do certain things in life, you ain't figured it out yet, man, go to the military.
Yeah,
Go.
Yeah.
I think we talking about though, Phil, like how life is different, like over there, like
It's
they don't
different.
have a grocery store, they don't have a food giant in Afghanistan, like
They
that kind of
don't.
stuff we take
But
for granted here. Like kids don't understand that.
First of
yeah,
all, let me say about the Afghan people. There are some of the most hardworking, you
Oh,
know,
for sure.
yeah,
loving people that you will ever meet. Now, I know you see about the terrorists and all that kind of stuff. Now, there are some. Obviously, anywhere you go, you're
Yeah.
gonna have some.
Anyway, yeah, they do that. Yeah.
But the only thing they're trying to do is survive over there. And one of the saddest things that I came across over there was we have these things called KLEs, key leader engagements,
Mm-hmm.
and so where the us as the service members or the United States, we go speak to certain people in the community to try to get information about whatever kind of intel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had a KLE at an orphanage, and the orphanage was so poor that they were running it off of a car battery. They were getting their electricity off of a car battery, and there was a baby. Excuse me. There was an infant that just passed away like the day before we got there and stuff like that. And Afghanistan has gone through decades. It's a very war-torn country. They've gone through decades. You know, the Soviet Union were there, you know what I'm saying, back in the 70s, 80s or whatever. And then obviously, you know, what we've been doing. So you see a lot of deformities because there's a lot of landmines over there. So people, it's not uncommon for somebody to step wrong and hit an old Soviet landmine. And the ecosystem isn't good. Where we were, they call it Cancer City. In Kabul, it's called Cancer City because of the air quality, you know, from all the war and things like that. So, and you see a lot of twisted up, mangled bodies. So you just see, and then on top of that, you know, you got, you know, bombs and stuff falling out the air, and people shooting at you, stuff like that, and your base getting attacked, and you having to respond to that, and it's kind of weird because like being over there going through that situation. Now I'm not claiming that I went through the worst. Like I'm not saying I was a Navy SEAL, that,
you see it,
but we were there, you know. But we were there, right? And we went through our trials. But you get in that situation, and there's kind of a piece to it because the only thing that matters is surviving, right?
For sure. 100%.
You ain't worried about no bills. You ain't worried about your kids. You ain't worried about your spouse. You ain't worried about nothing.
Surviving day to day.
All that kind of falls to the wayside, and you worried about getting from this day to the next day. And in some weird kind of way, they call it embracing the suck, right? In some weird kind of way. But yeah, so that's what Afghanistan was like, you know, and from my experience.
Cool.
I did 9 months over there, and man, we were just blessed to get back home.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I got one more question.
Go ahead, Bill.
A few more questions, but
Go ahead.
and we're gonna dial it back because I know that conversation can get real serious.
Yeah.
Who was your competition in junior high and high school? You were like, you know what? Let me go ahead, tighten up my bootstraps, and I'm about to outrun everybody. That you saw competition.
Hey, look, my boy Sam Glover, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. You know,
Yeah, everybody talk about playing both have some track stars in Pine
Yeah.
Bluff, man.
They did.
Yeah.
I trust me, I watched it. I watched it.
my dog Sam. Now I will say this.
Mhm.
You know, our first couple years,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, he ran a 200. We would compete in a 200. Couple years, he was up there. He always had speed, but I was winning.
Mhm.
But man, that boy came back that last year and he made your boy work.
Yeah.
He called me. He beat me twice. I
Yeah.
want to say twice. And look, I'm pretty sure if I'm misremembering, he'll let me know. Trust me, he gonna put something on Facebook. I'm like,
Yeah.
but him and I, unless something has changed within the last few years,
Yeah.
we're both tied for second place in the 200 meter dash in the state of Arkansas with 21.1. We're tied right behind Basil.
Yeah, Basil. Yep.
That lets you know the type of caliber he was. Adrian Williams out of Arkadelphia, Mr. 10-2 himself.
Yeah.
The year after I left to go to college, his senior year, he ran a 10-2 and 100.
Yeah.
But when I was there, I would take those races, but he was always on my heels.
Is Tyson Gay? Is he after you? Tyson Gay, was he after you?
He was a little
Way
way
after you. Okay, he was like around Steam. Okay, cool.
Now, because it's the reason why I asked that because I used to go track meets. Well, I've been in all this type of sporting type of events. It was that kid out of Pine Bluff, man. I ain't seen him in years. But that dude, Mark Bradley, this is how I know sports is so competitive. It's like, dude, he would set a record and then go try to break his record in the same day. I was like, what?
Who was it? What was his name?
Mark Bradley.
Mark Bradley.
I remember being at those indoor track meets where he would break his own record.
I think that's a little bit after him. I think that's
Yeah,
around
it
Steam.
was after him.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That name sounds familiar though.
yeah,
Yeah.
you watch. That's what I'm saying. Like they watch. Like we always watch people. He was older than me. I was like, man, he would go and like, oh, Mark Bradley set the record. I was like, dang, he gonna try to break it the same day.
Your brother said I'm behind you at 21-7.
Oh, actually, that's my dad. My brother, my dad got the same last name. Oh, he got the same name.
Okay.
That's my pops. Yeah.
That's your pops. He said, yeah, I'm behind you.
All right. Yeah, you think he was. Sure.
That's bad.
All right, so Lord bring you home from the military, man. Let the youth know, man. What career field is Ackee in now?
So I'm in the physical security world with the emphasis on top secret clearance. So we work with government entities, which I really can't get too deep into it.
Yeah.
No, don't get deep. But
Yeah. We're good. No, but I was in the military. I was an MP, and as an MP, I was able to get my clearance, my top secret clearance level. So as I transitioned out, I stayed in that realm, and so I do that. That's my 9-to-5 job, and then I also kind of moonlight in executive security, personal security. So then within within the military, as an MP, I went to Delta 7 school, which is personal security detail. The best way to explain it is kind of like Secret Service for the Army.
Sure, yeah,
so you have a principal, a high-ranking official in the Army, and they have to go somewhere, and they're allotted security detail. So we do the whole Secret Service thing, whatever.
I think I want the youth to know that just because you go to the Army, there are things after you can turn it into something. It can sprout up to a tree, starting from the root of going to the military. You don't just stop at the military. You can turn it into other things. You know what I'm saying? I really try to let kids know there's so many options out there. You just got to explore it.
It's just another way to add to your skill set.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. You're always good to build up on your profile. And a lot of people think in the military, you think infantry, you think everybody's going to fight. Majority of the people in the military don't go fight. Majority of the people in the military don't deploy.
Right.
And even if you do deploy, the majority, you're not pulling the trigger.
Right.
I know we fantasize a lot about it on media and movies and stuff like that because that's what sells. But a lot of times, majority of people, you're not gonna, you're not
administrative.
So
I'm gonna get you suckers. Said you a soldier, boy. Oh, son, I was administrative too. Like, what's that pass? Oh, this for typing. This
for typing. Lose your watch. We'll mess around with rubber bands. Yeah.
So, Andre, any questions you have for us, brother? Then we're gonna wrap it up.
House asked a question that like what made you guys decide to do this section, to bring it around the local sports guys. Like what was the motivation for you guys to do that?
Like I said, we talked about online. Like instead of we was doing sports, we always talk about like the little trending topics and stuff. Me and Phil, we like play around with it. Like, man, we gotta get to it. We gotta start asking, interviewing people that we, grew up in our city, like highlighting how, athletes that grew up, getting some stories from them, like how they played and stuff, and people from our city, Southwest, and people from the South Side and stuff like that, and because to me that's more interesting. Like, you can talk about like James Harden, but man, we don't know, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We grew up where we grew up at. It's just, to me, it's like kind of funny talking about them. But we want to give our legends the flowers while they still living.
Yeah.
We don't want you to be like Earl Campbell. Barely walk around. You're old, and then we talking about giving you your flowers. No, we want to give it to you while now. While we all healthy, we all able-bodied and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man.
And sharing our platform, I think, is really important. It's stuff we all know, but the youth don't know. And it's good to see our people that didn't go professional, did go professional, seeing how much life y'all live. Y'all got a story to tell.
Yes,
your journey was so unique. Raymond's journey was unique. I's journey was unique. Going from celebrities and being household names, like we have people like that. We know your own history. Give your own people their flowers. It don't have to be Kevin Durant. We have an Andre Ackee that went to our high school. We went to McClellan. So.
And that's why I say, like, they are like Steph and Clay, and I'm just like the KD of this shit. Like they all like, you can. My bad, Dad. But like for real, like we all have the same vision and a goal. I was like, if I can just add my little input into it, because they really do this, and they really are good at this stuff. So when people, I know a lot of people are hesitant about it until they realize, like, it's like, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with people. It's like the movement, you know what I'm saying? Like in the 60s type stuff. Like, no, it's like you have to really pay attention to it because it's a lot of people that laid their groundwork for. When I look at it, and you got people like Joe,
Right.
and you got people like Scott. Well, Scotty first. Well, no, my bad, not Scotty first. It was like City Moncrief. You
Right.
got people like Willie Cuts. Willie Cuts is my favorite. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't got that. He ain't got that notoriety yet.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's certain when it come down to certain type of stuff. Like my pops used to always talk about how great people were, and people didn't even know. It makes perfect sense now.
Right.
Yeah. And
Like
then the main thing I think for me is when I was thinking about making content, I want to make content that like your mom can come back and watch this and we not cussing each other out and going
Right.
crazy. You know, a lot of kids don't really understand. Like when you building a brand, do you want only certain people to try it? Because like say with spicy food, some people ain't gonna never try spicy food,
Mm.
and some people will, but it's the crowd is smaller for people that eat spicy food
Right.
versus if it's not spicy. Some people will try it one time, like you know what, this is not that bad. I'll check it out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the making positive content that if we trying to talk to the kids, they can watch this with their dad or their mom. Is like this is the kind of stuff I'm trying to tell you, but because they're younger, maybe they can articulate it more different than me
mhm.
being from the '60s and saying because we grew up in a different time. But if we trying to make something positive that people can go back and watch, and kind of stick with. And then like we was talking about before we came on, like trying to reach back to the young guys and tell them like if you say you really can start in junior high and make a strategy and set your 20s up so when you get to your 30s, you good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
That's
think
one
that's really important having multiple people like you and like Raymond. I'm not
yeah,
like Mike, but I'm like
right,
Raymond. I'm not like Raymond,
right,
but I'm like Ackee.
for
I'm
sure.
like these guys. I can follow their path through the
Right.
Hmm.
military. That's more so like
Right,
me, showing the kids there are different avenues that you can travel, but you can still be successful. Life
yeah,
ain't
for
over
sure.
once playing A don't work out. It's playing B.
Right.
Right.
It's playing C.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Sometimes playing G.
Amen.
For real.
Sometimes
Sometimes
playing
playing
Sometimes,
G.
and
you're right.
yeah, go ahead. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
In the other pocket, like thinking game, no matter what plan you in, you're gonna have to have work ethic. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
have being
I
faithful,
think
committed, and you're gonna have to have self-awareness. You're gonna have to have all no matter where you
you
at.
gotta fully think when it comes to it.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
look,
Mr.
I really appreciate y'all's platform, man. And like I said, it's very unique to me.
Yeah.
Again, I have not obviously, what I'm saying, have seen another platform that brings in what I'm saying, the hometown, what I'm saying, like you
Yeah.
guys. And
Yeah.
look, y'all gotta, if y'all, I'm here, what I'm saying, I
Yeah,
can
we
come back
locked in now.
and
Like I
lock.
told you, you have to
Yeah.
be locked in.
Yeah,
Season start. Y'all want to come on and talk sports, talk like we do. We
Oh,
come on and talk about football. We might talk trash to each other a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
more than welcome too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you want
Tell
to
us all.
enlighten us about the military,
Oh yeah, that's what I
whatever
told
it
them. We
is,
gonna do
yeah,
that.
right.
I
And
want
it's,
to make something like that over time. Just talk about different career tracks. Bring
yeah,
people in. I think that'd be
definitely
cool.
help
Like
with the youth and stuff like that.
Military.
Because like I said, I have a background with that as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, you guys are doing an amazing job. And again, thank you for inviting me to
Yeah.
your platform and let me what I'm saying,
Hey,
get
hey,
my story off.
hey,
Yeah.
Andre,
it's all
I
pleasure.
got one request from you.
What's up with it?
Call somebody out. Tell them you need to hop on this podcast. Call somebody out.
Let me
That's
see.
gonna be my new thing. I'm gonna call them out.
Yeah.
Call them out.
Let
Call
me,
them out. And tag them in the post. Tag.
I'm gonna tag him. Let me think about it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
think
All
about
good.
Let
tag
me
them.
think
Like,
about it. And
you
I'm
know
gonna
what?
text.
You know what? I was like, bro, I think this probably for you right
Yeah, right.
now. Yeah.
Hey, and shout out to my boy Rob, man, for put my name out there like
Oh
that.
yeah, for
No,
sure.
no,
Shout out to Rob, man.
man.
Right,
Man.
man.
And
Yeah,
Y'all,
thank you for coming on.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've been
man.
trying to tell people like, man, y'all, man, so many dope people in. it's just not Little Rock.
Yeah.
It's Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's Arkansas.
Sometimes you
Like,
gotta start home first, baby. Southwest. You gotta
yeah,
share the
Yeah,
hearts at home.
no,
You know
people
what I'm
that
saying?
look like us.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, we're finna get ready and sign out this thing. Thank you for
Already.
watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, we was on Facebook. This gonna be on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm still making clips. I'm gonna be clipped up
Man,
probably for months trying to
don't
make
y'all get
clips
mad at
about
Mike
all this
now. He
stuff.
gonna
You know
tag
what I'm
you now.
saying?
He
And,
gonna
Hey,
tag
Mike is the man
yeah, they
behind the
coming for me.
machine.
Man,
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
really is. Like he
Yeah.
do. He
But
do
it's
this.
all good, man. It's all love, man. Just keep watching, like, sharing, subscribing. Let us know in the comments what you think. Drop some names or tag people like we're gonna have Andre tag people think they want to come on. And just come on, man, laugh and have a good time, man. Let's talk about
That's
sports, talk
it.
about the
Yeah.
scores, man. Talk about the
Tag
career
your
field.
legend.
For sure.
Say less.
So with that being said, guys, we finna sign out this thing. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next CTM Sports.